So how are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. We're working on songs right now, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So have you guys you guys have been going since 2017 from what I read. Have you guys come out with a full-length album yet?
No, see, so what happened is that we have a whole EP done, and we kind of just were like, we released two singles, and then we were kind of in talks with different labels and stuff like that, and then we kind of we're waiting for the right home for it, and then I think didn't last year we decided that we were gonna go and go with Sony Orchard. We were gonna go on the Orchard.
Yeah.
So we're gonna basically go through a division of Sony and release songs like that. But then we decided what we would do is go back in and record some more, and then pick from what we want. And then once the show came out, then we would start trickling some stuff out.
Awesome. So does it feel like things have been a little bit more quickly falling into place since you guys have had the coverage from the show? No cover, obviously. Or
Yeah.
do you feel like it's had the opposite effect or just kind of been a little bit the same?
We definitely saw a lot of fans, in like an influx of fans from the first show. So it was like really it was like a big influx of fans from the first episode, and then the second episode we've been getting like a lot of love ever since. So
yeah, you guys killed it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The whole experience with the show was really great, and everybody involved with it, from the producers, Josh and Ash, and Matt Pinfield. He was the host, but I think he's also a producer of the show, right? Down to people working on the crew of the show were great. They were all industry people. I think they decided to hire within the industry, because at that time when we were shooting, it was still COVID. So and we're still in COVID now, but it was like right? It was like,
it was still kind of weird, I guess.
Like, we had to get tested to fly out. Yeah. We got tested when we got there. We got tested before we filmed every time. So it was a very we were in a bubble. It was safe. But they hired a bunch of industry people that weren't working, which is really cool.
That is really cool. What a creative. People have had to get creative throughout all this, especially musicians. It's been a hard industry for musicians anyways. I know you guys are kind of just starting out, and so probably haven't had the experience of what it used to be. But I also know Carmine Appice is someone that you guys are close and personal with and have been working with. So I'm sure he's, explained the ins and outs, because he's been in this industry for a long time.
Yeah.
I listened to Vanilla Fudge when I was a kid, and I'm almost 40.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, Carmine is like a family friend. You know what I mean? So I shot a DVD with him for little kids on how to play the drums when I was younger. And then that's how I kind of built my relationship with him. So we've been close ever since I was little, you know what I mean? And my mom and dad stay in touch with him. And, we're always going over his house. Like, during the pandemic, we went down to Florida for like 2 weeks and just stayed at his house. You know what I mean? So it's really cool to get like insight from him on how the industry works, and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean?
Right. So what made you guys decide, because you're young guys, the genre influence that I think is not debatable is the 80s, the 80s rock. What made two young guys decide to venture into that decade and bring that back to life?
So ever since we were younger, any band that we played in, so we had bands when we were in high school and stuff like that. Me and Chris have always played together, so we've never been in separate bands, and like Chris had his own band and I had my own band. We never were like that. We always stuck together, and we always used to get the Van Halen brother thing, like Eddie and Alex, and which is really cool, and it's awesome and stuff. And we would play in different styles of bands and stuff like that, but it always sounded like that. And everyone always compares to that. So I just think it's the way that we write, you know what I mean? And the way that we play, and the way we play off of each other.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like the way it sounds. Like I can't really not do it, and I don't think he can really not do it. I think it just kind of comes out that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're trying, you know what I mean? Like some people try, and for us, I don't think it's trying. I mean, even Tosin off camera, we would, be outside talking, and I think even Lizzie too. It's just the way that we play. You know what I mean? It's just something that we do, and that's how it sounds. No matter what band we would be in, that's just how it would sound.
That's cool. And you can tell it's very natural, but it was just interesting because obviously you guys, I'm assuming, weren't around in the 80s.
No.
Tosin is actually why I started watching the show, because I'm a huge Animals as Leaders Animals as Leaders fan. I'm one person. But saw, that he was going to be judging. And it's funny because along the way, I've been really surprised at how much I have not agreed with him throughout episode or band to band. But you guys were one band that I obviously did agree with him with, and he just, loved you guys. I have not seen him. I can't think of another band throughout the series so far, obviously that I've seen, that he's been as excited about. So that had to, especially for you. Okay, see. Pete and Chris, right?
Yeah. I'm Pete, he's Chris, and for you, right?
Yeah, it was really cool because he said he loves my guitar playing and stuff like that, and he was talking to us and everything like that, even off camera, and he was telling us, like it's cool to see you guys doing what you guys are doing and everything like that, and because we're kind of playing instruments and stuff like that, and kind of like pushing forward, like more like a, I don't want to say, it's not progressive or anything like that. So it's not like complex music, but it's kind of,
it's not as complex as
Animals
as Leaders, but it's still stuff that it's nothing generic where it's easy to play,
Yeah, for sure.
So I think you really saw us shine in the second episode that we were on, because when we flew there the first day, we flew there the day before, got in at 2 a.m., got to the hotel at 2 a.m., and then we had to be there for like a 9 a.m. call to shoot.
Oh my gosh.
And we got no sleep, and we were jet lagged and tired and stuff. So I think the second time you saw us was a couple days later, I believe.
Yeah,
3 days later or something like that. And that's when you saw us really get acclimated to LA time and do that kind of stuff. So I wish we would have flown out earlier.
Yeah,
got adjusted to the time and then played the first day, but everything was expensive going on in LA at the time, so it's easier and cheaper just to fly out and do it like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially like you guys said, given the times and having to go through all the testing and stuff, it's not like any of it was simple. Something I had the ultimate respect for you guys throughout, again, what I've seen, is you guys very much took everything that was given to you from these artists that have been doing this for obviously longer, and really took it to heart. And it was like it. You guys were incredible the first time, but me and my husband both were like, everything that they were told, they turned around and did. And they all noticed it, obviously. I was really surprised that you guys didn't get pushed on further. Of course, you went up against, a tough band that's been doing that for a long time, totally different style of music. And that's always hard when it's different styles of music. But I, again, have yet to see just anybody in the industry at all. I work a lot with music, take so much advice so to heart and do so much with it in a short period of time. I thought that was absolutely incredible of you guys. Very humble, it takes a very humble approach.
The thing that we like to do the most is whenever someone says something to us, we always apply it no matter what it is. So that's why you watch the Mercy Council thing, which is very dramatist and it's very all the sounds and stuff, but it has to be for TV.
Mm-hmm.
But for real though, anything that we do, we always take to heart. And this is what we really want to do. You know what I mean? Is music. Yeah. No matter what it is, me and Chris will always be together, right? Because we're brothers.
Yeah, we're always looking to improve.
Always improve our stuff.
Yeah.
I think, we got into a rehearsal hall, I think, before the second time that we played as well. You know, because originally were we supposed to play two? I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but were we supposed to play two songs?
There was like some sort of thing where they were thinking about having the bands each play like two songs or something like that. And then it kind of got scrapped or something.
Yeah, we got an email like in the morning because we woke up to an email. You have to do like your COVID test the day before you shoot. So we would wake up, go do our COVID test, and then we had to go rehearse. And they sent out an email saying, "Oh, if you guys, you know, we think that we want you guys to play two songs." So we rehearsed two songs at a nice studio in LA called Mates. Shout out to the guy who owns Mates because he's one of Carmine's friends and he let us use a room that like Guns N' Roses practices in.
Oh, so, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. It was really, really cool. And we went there and I mean, we practiced and we took everything to heart and we did whatever we could to really make a good impression on everybody on the show. I mean, we had crew coming up to us and the makeup girls, and I mean, like anybody that was on that show came up to us and they were like, "You guys are great. No matter what happens in this contest, you guys will do great." Mm-hmm. And I think that really speaks volumes as a musician, especially like when they tell you that you're great and stuff like that. I think it's really cool and humbling because we're very much into like, you know, we don't like to, what do they call that? Brag. We don't like to brag or like show off or anything like that. We like to go on stage and play our thing and do it for the love of music, you know? Mm-hmm. But I think what I think is wrong is that if Greta Van Fleet was on this show, I mean, they would probably get the same kind of feedback on the first episode.
Oh, for sure.
Or a Dirty Honey. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I love both those bands. And we haven't met the Dirty Honey guys, but we've hung out with the Greta Van Fleet guys before their show in New York City. And I will tell you, I mean, like, there's room for bands like us on the music scene and to be signed to majors and to do whatever, because kids growing up now, I don't know if you have kids or not, but I mean, they need new bands like a Guns N' Roses, like a Van Halen, like a Kiss, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think like Black Veil Brides does it for that Motley Crue kind of Kiss thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that Dirty Honey does it for the Guns N' Roses thing. And I think Greta does it for, and I don't know if they're going to like that I say this, but the Led Zeppelin thing. And I believe that we could do it for the Van Halen thing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, that's my whole take on that thing too. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's all great. And it's not like anything sort of like if you're not doing that or anything like that, that there's something like wrong or like playing a new modern sort of.
Oh, yeah. New modern bands are awesome too. I mean, me and Chris are actually working on a second project right now that we're going to also put through, I think, the Orchard. And it's just a duo, and it sounds like me and Chris playing. Chris is singing and playing guitar. I'm playing drums. And it's just a really cool project that we've had a bunch of songs for. So we were like, we should just do a project out of it, you know?
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, going back to what you were saying with, I just say Bridging the Gap. I know poor Greta Van Fleet has gotten so much, a lot of people have, you know, most people love them, but of course there's always going to be those people that are going to be terrible. I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan. I definitely hear the Led Zeppelin influences. I thought it was the coolest thing ever that they were bridging that gap, because we don't get Led Zeppelin anymore, you know? And so bridging that gap.
And they are the nicest. I got to tell you what, they are
before. They're very nice. Yeah.
They're the nicest guys and they're great musicians. So, I mean, it's like, I don't understand the hate for them at all. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't either. And I, on this side of the fence, continually definitely stand up for them. But yeah, I think bridging that gap between the styles of music, I think is very important. Like you said, for the younger generation, I have a 14-year-old, he plays guitar. He's starting his own little project. I think last year was when the band started. But yeah, it's important. It was a very important time for rock and roll. Every decade, every time frame obviously has its own influences and importances, but yeah, for someone like me, it's been really cool to see younger generation bring some of that back. That's very nostalgic for us, but yet there's still, especially with you guys, it's not just that sound. Like there's a modernized sound that goes with it too, that you're like merging the two, and it's great.
Thank you. Yeah.
you.
I mean, that was the whole thing from the start, is that's exactly how we always wanted it to be. We didn't want it to be, you know what I mean? We didn't want it to be forced, you know what I mean? Because forced is it's one, it after a while it gets hard. Two, it's just not the way that we wanted to do things. So whatever you're hearing is genuinely how we write songs. You know what I mean? Me and Chris come up.
Yeah, we're not like sitting down and being like, this has to sound like Van
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not sitting down there going, "Hey, play back Running with the Devil really quick." Get that, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I like the comments though on the second episode. I mean, we don't really look at comments too much because it's just like anybody could say anything, and it's just like you could say a lot of stuff behind a keyboard, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. For sure.
It's cool, and I everybody on that show again, it's just so nice, and just it's awesome, and I stay in contact with a lot of people that work on the show till this day. I mean, and it's really cool just to be friends and talk with all these people regularly. It's great.
Yeah. Well, like you said, all the people involved being part of the music industry, when they're all coming up to you and saying that, you guys, regardless of what happened, you guys are killing it. You guys are, definitely have a place, like you said, in the music world. I mean, those are coming from people in the industry. It's not that it isn't, flattery when it comes from just the regular fan people, but coming from people who actually know music and know how the music industry goes. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling, and I think it's everything that we wanted to do from the start of this band. I mean, when me and Chris started it, I mean, everything that we wanted to do, I mean, we've slowly been able to build it. And I mean, COVID really took a hit on us because we were supposed to do a lot of cool things in the summer of 2020 that would have built it up even more, I think, right?
Yeah, and kind of like put it off a bit.
Put it off. And I mean, and that would have been like the first summer that we toured, and that would have been the first summer that we did a lot of things. We were supposed to fly out and actually play for a label the week everything shut down. So it was really a bummer, kind of, and a setback. And we've just been trying to kind of like figure out how we want to push forward. And I think that's kind of where we're at with that. And like I said, like me and him are always writing, so that's kind of why we were focused now on doing this new project, the duo thing, because it's like something that we've been working at and building up for like the past couple months now, right?
Yeah, a few months,
maybe close to a year. We had this idea, and we were like, you know what, we should probably go about it and get something out there, because we'll just, you know what I mean? We don't want to keep things like just stagnant. You know what I mean? We want to keep moving and stuff. So we've got a whole team built for that, which is really cool. And maybe we'll do an interview for that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, reach out anytime. Yeah, I enjoy doing these, and I don't know if you guys have looked much into my history, but I do a lot of them.
Yeah, no, we saw it. When you messaged, I got the message on my phone, and I went in and I looked, I was like, oh, this is really cool. You know what I mean? Have you gotten in contact with the No Cover people?
I haven't even thought to. I actually don't usually reach out for interviews. This is probably the maybe third time I have.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that's just how impressed I was with you guys, and thought you guys needed not needed, because at this point you guys, the people who are watching it, but not everybody knows about the show either. I mean, the only reason I knew about it is because of Tosin.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny that we were like waiting for the show to come out because it had been done. We did this, and what did we do it?
It was about
a year and a half, a year and 2 months ago or something. So I mean, we've been waiting, and like we heard maybe by Christmas time, or I think we were talking about November too. We heard about it because I got an email about it, and we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And I figured they were trying to sell it to a network or something. That's why. So I was like, oh man, you know what I mean? I wonder when the show's going to come out. So when we finally got that email, it was really cool,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically it. I mean, the feedback so far has been really great though. I can't complain. I mean, right? Yeah. I mean, our plays on Spotify have skyrocketed. Our music videos have skyrocketed. So yeah, it's just the plan to go ahead, and figure things out,
Right. Yeah. So you guys were the ones who originally started. First of all, tell me how you chose the name Kodiak, and second of all, tell me how you found Eric and TJ.
Okay. So how we found the name Kodiak. So Kodiak, we had the whole band together, and me and Chris were kind of sitting around one day, and we were like, oh, well, what should the band name be? Just kind of going back and forth. We were throwing names and names and names, and we needed a band name. So we were like, looking, and I think my dad said, what about Kodiak? That would be a really cool band name. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'll do some research online, and it's a Kodiak, Alaska. So there's Kodiak, Alaska. There's Kodiak pancakes. What else?
The Kodiak
Bears.
The Kodiak Bears, obviously. So we were like, okay, Kodiak Bear, like big and strong and powerful. So we were like, that's like our sound, So we kind of brought it to Carmine. Carmine was like, yeah, I really like that. So we sent it to a graphic designer, and he came up with a logo, and we kind of stuck with that logo. And that logo is kind of like, it's really cool. I like the logo because it's simple. And it's easy to understand, and you get why there's claw marks going through it and stuff. And then the way I found the rest of the band, the way I found TJ was I played with TJ around the area, what we both did, at skate park shows around the area when we were in high school and middle school, because Chris was always the youngest. So I found TJ through there, and then I was actually out on tour with Last in Line. I don't know if you know who Last in Line is, but that's Vinny Appice, which is Carmine's brother, Vivian Campbell from Def Leppard, Phil Soussan from Ozzy, and Andrew Freeman he played guitar for The Offspring, and now I actually think he's the singer for Great White, if I'm not mistaken, but I think they just announced that the other day. So I was on tour with them, and there was like a local opener that played like 20 minutes, and that's how I found Eric.
Okay.
I got traded numbers with him, and that's how we kind of went about that.
So he was singing in another band at that point?
Yeah, he was singing in another band at that point.
And you guys stole him?
Yeah, I kind of just picked and choose from people that I liked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like you. And that's kind of how I've always done things, and we rehearse like crazy. I mean, when we're not doing something, we're rehearsing. So, I mean, we do like, what is it? 3-hour rehearsals, 2-hour rehearsals,
2 3-hour rehearsals,
2 3-hour rehearsals, however long we can. And we run, I mean, it sounds like a crazy person, because like we run the set, even if we like in the middle of COVID, we were practicing. So that's kind of just how we did masks, all that stuff. And we were just practicing. Yeah,
you can tell because you guys are very tight, and that's obviously not an easy feat, especially throughout COVID, because not a lot of people were able to get together. So thankfully you guys were, and that shows.
It's cool that we lived together, me and Chris, because we could always go down to our studio and kind of practice together, even though we didn't have the rest of the band. I think a big portion of it is me and Chris, so we can totally practice together, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So if you don't mind telling me, what are your ages?
I'm 24.
I'm 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah, we're like a 4-year age gap. Everybody that meets us always tells us that we look like twins. So it's cool. And it's also like, when we do photo shoots, it's like, all right, put this one on this end and put this one on this end, because we did a photo shoot.
Split you guys up?
Yeah, they split us up. I think Glenn, we did a photo shoot with Glenn Furman. I don't know if you know Glenn. Glenn shot everybody. He shot Van Halen. He shot Kiss. He shot Metallica, I think.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
Oh my! Any band
cool.
that you could think of. So when we were out there, one of the days we went to Glenn's studio and we shot with Glenn. And Glenn was like, he's like, you guys look too similar. I have to separate. Which is really funny.
Well, we're brothers.
Yeah. Well, we're brothers. Yeah. But that's always been the thing too, is that we always get that similarity type of thing. And we're best friends in real life. Everyone thinks that, like people go off and whatever, but we're actually really great friends, even though we're brothers too,
That's awesome. Yeah, that's not always how that happens. So that's really awesome, especially since you guys are playing together. Pretty important too. You don't want to be the Oasis brothers.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Oh, cool. What, so you guys are looking at a label right now. Sounds like you're already decided on one. You have an EP already ready, but you're going to go through that label to release it. Do you have any idea when that release is going to be?
Not yet. We have to have a meeting about it, and see when we're gonna do it. Because I know, like with Sony Orchard, you have to go through different things like submitting it, and then we have to get it up there, and then submit the playlists, all this other kind of stuff. So we have to figure that out, what we're gonna shoot a music video for, and yeah, kind of just getting the whole plan together. I know what we're gonna try to do that, and then see how the world takes it. And I mean, we had actually we were working before COVID. We were working with a booking agency. It's actually the same one that Hailstorm's on.
Oh, nice.
Which is really cool. And the thing with that is like we were gonna go down and do, I think James wanted us to do South by Southwest or something like that, where they showcase all the bands every year. So we were going to go down and do that, and then everything kind of just took a downfall. So I mean, we're still in contact with them, and they're still helping us out, but we got to figure out what we're going to do,
right
on that side of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming your social medias are where people can look to see what's going on and what's coming down the pipeline.
Yes, definitely. You go to all the social medias at We Are Kodiak. It's very simple, at We Are Kodiak, and then kodiakband.com. You could go on our website, and that can connect you to basically everything.
Okay.
And I mean, actually, what was really cool is we sold out of merch after the first episode of the show, like maybe an hour after the show came out.
Nice.
Yeah, and we had we had merch left, and I mean, when we got the orders in, we were like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Which is really cool.
Yeah. So do you have more that you're going to be throwing on there? Or
I think so. I think we have to go through and see which the more popular items were.
Right.
And then figure out how we're going to order it and, do all that kind of stuff. Because right now everything's sold out on our stuff. So it's really cool. And hopefully, we can continue to build off of this, and something good comes,
Yeah, I definitely think that that's the way it's going to go. So tell me, what are some of the music that you either grew up listening, from your parents or whatever, before you ended up kind of finding your own, how at first we are kind of at the mercy of our parents, and then we kind of find our own route, and sometimes it parallels with them, sometimes it is the same as them, and sometimes it takes a complete
yeah, it's totally different. Yeah.
Right.
You want to go first? What you grew up on? I mean, we kind of have similar things. You want to go?
Yeah, I mean, Van Halen, Kiss, Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses.
I mean, and now, I mean, it's more like, I mean, even growing up, we weren't too different. I mean, we always stayed with the same kind of thing. Kiss, Guns N' Roses. Kiss was our first concert. Nice. It's really cool, actually. I got to talk to Eric Singer on the phone. I was down in Florida with Carmine. He called Carmine to do his podcast, and then I got on the phone with Eric Singer. And I was like, dude, you're like one of my favorite drummers, and you were my first concert. You were our first concert, and it was just cool to chat on the phone with him for 45 minutes and talk drums and stuff. But growing up, I mean, discovering bands I don't know, when Black Veil Brides came out, we were like, wow, this is like Motley Crue and Kiss combined. You know what I mean? So that was really cool. And then Asking Alexandria came out, and they were like a heavier, dirtier Guns N' Roses. So we were like, this is cool, you know what I mean? And then recently we've been finding these bands like Royal Blood, and Cleopatra, right? And who else?
Oh, there was another band you were
Tiger
saying.
Cub.
Yeah.
Tiger
Oh.
Cub, they're really great. They're from the UK.
Oh, nice.
And since we were going through doing this new project, the duo, which we're gonna call it Intruder 424, and basically going through and doing that project, we were like, oh, this is cool. Like, there's a bunch of other duos out there and trios, because Tiger Cub's a trio. And it's just cool to see a guitar player and a drummer, or a bass player and a drummer, and just two people getting up there and doing it. So yeah, they're really cool. It's like a dirty kind of rock kind of vibe, and yeah, it's really cool.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, there's a band called Telekinetic Yeti where they only have a guitarist and a drummer as well, and they're more of like a stoner rock kind of band. But yeah, it's always super impressive to see two musicians up there and have so much come out of two instruments that you're like, it's like hard to wrap your brain around that it's only.
Yeah. And I gotta tell you what, the practices are easier. All I gotta do is go, hey Chris, you want to go practice?
You bored?
Yeah, you bored? You want to go practice? Yeah. So I mean, other than that though, I mean, that's kind of all the bands that we've been listening. Obviously, Dirty Honey, they're great. Greta Van Fleet, they're great. That band Måneskin from Italy, they're really cool too.
What are they called?
Måneskin. Is that how you pronounce the name of that band?
I'm not sure. It's something like that.
They're great. They won a show. It's like a no cover, but it's the Italy version, or like the Italian version of
some sort of
like American Idol, America's Got Talent thing. Okay. And they like blew up in Europe, and now they're blowing up over here, which is really cool. I think Youngblood's great. I people give him shit all the time. I don't know why. I think he's cool. Who else?
Yeah, I'm blanking right now.
Yeah,
I know. As soon as you get asked the question, it's like I could tell you if you didn't put me on the spot.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of great bands, and everyone's super nice. I've actually a really nice guy on set. Well, Kate and Kellen from Sleeping with Sirens. Kellen's the nicest guy in the world. So is Kate. They're both great. Everybody on that show.
Yeah, all the judges and everything.
Everybody. I mean, there was like me, like, what is that thing that Alice uses all the time? What is that thing called?
Oh. It looks like you're holding a cowbell.
No, well, it's like a whip or something, and he's just like talking to my dad in the corner, and he's just like hitting his hand, like getting ready to film, and he's just talking to my dad in the corner, which is so funny to see.
Yeah.
And
super nice, giving us advice.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool, and it was a great show. People complain about like the $100 entry fee and stuff like that. I really don't see, if you have 4 people in a band and everyone puts $25 each in. I mean, what's the big deal?
Right.
I mean, and they complain about the travel and the pay and stuff like that. It's like, listen, if you think that you're the next big thing, then you should go and do it. And I don't understand.
I mean, otherwise, you don't have to do it.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Right.
You know what you could do is go sell tickets for $25 a piece and go play for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? In front of a national, and then you pay to play, basically. You know, so.
Which is how it is anyways, right? For the most part, especially starting out, you have to buy your own merch starting out. You have to, the band rental space. Most people don't have their own,
it's like an
do it in their homes.
Into your future.
Right, for sure.
So, I mean, you could cry about the money later, or you can win $100,000 and get assigned to Sumerian and United Talent Agency and everything like that. So I think it's just people online wanting to complain, It's like if you read the Loudwire comments, or you read the comments on any news article, it's just like anybody can complain.
And a lot of people enjoy doing that.
Yeah, anybody.
Anything anybody does, though.
Anybody, So, but yeah, I can't really complain about anything like that.
No, everybody on the show is super cool, and
just hanging out with everybody. All the other bands too, Night Spins. The Penny Fountain, Slaves to Humanity, all them great bands, nice people, everything like that. Tilly was cool. We never got to meet what's the thrash grass band called?
Native Howl.
Howl, yeah. We never got to meet them, but they seemed like really cool. Or did we meet them? I don't know. Maybe we did.
No, I don't think we did.
I'm sure it's a blur.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was, well, we had a hard time getting on the schedule, the LA sleep schedule for a while because we were just going and going.
Yeah, because that's a 3-hour difference to there.
It's a 3-hour difference, but then like they have you up at weird times. So like, I don't know how we're supposed to everything wasn't filmed in 2 days. Let's just say it like that.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like certain things were filmed on certain days, and you know, it was just go the whole time we were out there. So, but I like it better like that. I hate being out now. We've been to LA before where it's like you're sitting out there for a week and you're doing something on Monday, but then you don't have anything till Friday. So it's better just to get everything done, bang bang,
Right.
and get home. You know?
Yeah, get back on your own schedule.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Great. Cool. Well, what are some of the things that you guys do in like your spare time when you're not doing music, or is music just all you guys are usually doing?
Music is all we do basically.
Yeah.
We sit down here like 99% of the time. We just got a dog. His name's Marv. So we play
Marv.
with Marv. He's like 5 months old, and we play with Marv, and we come down here.
What kind of a dog is he?
Oh, he's a golden doodle.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's cute. And we play with him, hang out with our family, hang out with some of our friends. And that's pretty much it. And we just play music, which is really cool and something that we've always wanted to do. So to get to do it for a living is really cool.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, get out there on the road. I love touring, so I people hate it after a while. I like it. Chris likes it too. I don't mind it. So I mean, getting out on the road is really fun for me. So, and Chris. So I mean, I love to do that. So hopefully soon. I hope they book like, you know, the whole year next year. We get to tour the whole year.
That'd be awesome.
I could do that. To live in a van.
I don't know. Some of those really successful bands, I mean, that's how they do it, is just being out all the time. And I can't imagine it either. Like, it sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it's weird. You get used to it after a while. I mean, especially like the van situation, you kind of create different ways to sleep and figure things out. A bus is easier, or a bandwagon, I should say. A bandwagon's easier, a bus is easier. Obviously, if you're flying, I mean, that's probably the most luxurious way to tour and stuff like that. But you know, we don't have millions of dollars.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, so that's cool. That's basically at 90% music, 10% just hanging out, family, friends, dog, you know.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Well, as we talked about before, the music industry is a tough industry right now. It's different than when Vanilla Fudge was out there, right? I guess they still are out there, but when they were originally starting.
Yeah.
So what are some things that people can do to support you guys? You guys don't have the merch right now, but I'm assuming that sounds like it's coming down the pipeline. So what are some things people can do to really show their support to you guys right now?
Just basically follow the social medias, stream our music, watch our music videos, and basically just interact. The more that you interact on social media, the more that you stream the songs and it hits the algorithm, you get to be playlisted, and the more the songs get playlisted, the more people hear it. And yeah, I think just interacting is the best way possible, and requesting us on bands in town in your area, or emailing your favorite band's manager and telling them that you want to see us open for them would be really cool. Other than that, yeah, just interacting and being fans and friends with us, and you know, that's the only thing that we could ask for, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys do Twitch?
No, we don't. We've heard good things though. We're trying to figure out how to set everything up kind of and start doing a Twitch stream of a band practice or something like that. I think that would be really cool for people to see.
Yes. Really cool to be able to have that personal connection that, you know, fans obviously are going to want to have with you, and you guys want to have with them. But also monetarily, it would help with being able to build up merch and build up some of that stuff that is not cheap for musicians.
I mean, I've seen drummers. I know Craig from Stray from the Path, that band Stray from the Path. he has his own Twitch stream and show called The Downbeat, which is really cool. And me and him both watch it all the time. I mean, he's a funny guy and he's a great drummer. So it's like really cool to see a drummer, start doing Twitch and get a big following on there. I think Vinny from Motionless in White does it too.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do it. I mean, it's a really good thing to build a community up, and I mean, you can make so much money.
Yes.
I mean, just doing Twitch. I mean, these people that play Call of Duty and stuff like that just on Twitch, they're making like 6 figures a year just playing a game.
That's still so weird to me. That's still so weird to me, but like that people watch other people play video games, but I watch other people like experience different songs and music for the first time and see their reaction. So I guess it's not that different. But when my son watches, I'm like, why don't you just play the game? It's so weird to me. And I guess it's probably just my age, but
I mean, I'm not good at video games at all. So I mean, good for them. I can't do the coordination thing, even though I'm a drummer. I don't know how they do the
different kind of coordination.
But yeah, it's really cool to see, and it's really cool to see everyone's setups and how they do different things. And I think that's kind of the way to go about things now, is be more interactive, because you never know when something like COVID could happen again.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually have to be ready, and they call it batching. You probably know about this, batching content. So you're basically creating a load of content and then just slowly letting it out. So that way you don't seem like you're dead in the water.
Right.
And I think, honestly, even though this show is to get a record deal, I mean, you necessarily don't need a record deal to be in a famous band. I mean, if you look at Dirty Honey is not signed. You do not need that. That's kind of the reason why we were like, you know what, do we even really need a label? For as much money as we've put in being in this band, do we actually need a label? Yes and no. There's pros and cons to every kind of thing, and I think that if someone's out there watching this right now and they're like, man, I can't get signed, or man, I can't do this, something like that, like, you don't need to be. You can go out there and create a community online and do your own thing, and it might grow slow, but you might get there one day, so it doesn't matter,
Right. That's really good advice.
Thank you.
And I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bands is an unsigned band from Vegas, Hemlock. And they're always touring. They're super, super busy, and they do what they want to do, and they do it really well. Yeah.
I mean, you could do that. I mean, we've with the show, I mean, we've played shows our first show was in front of 800 people at an award show, and it was all famous people. I mean,
that was your first show?
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh.
First real show. What we did first was we drove to LA to go play some showcases, and we stopped in Texas and played like a warm-up show at a dive bar. And we actually posted online, and like 20 girls or like 15 girls from Oklahoma drove to, where would we play in Texas?
Frisco,
Texas. We played the Green.
And they drove from Oklahoma to come see you guys?
They drove from Oklahoma to come see us play.
That's awesome.
And it was really cool, and we played our set, and that was our first unofficial show. And then 2 days later we played to, like, Rudy Sarzo was there. Who else was there?
A bunch of people.
Mike Portnoy, Carmine, his brother, obviously. Who else was there?
A lot of people.
A lot of people, famous managers, all this other crazy stuff. And our first show, they were like, go out and play 2 songs. And we were like, okay.
God.
And we did. But then we've played to shows like to 5 people. You know what I mean? So it's not like that's why when we went on the show, it's like, okay, you could stick us in front of anybody and basically we can do it. You know what I mean? It's not like
even if you're throwing up before and after, you can still get up there and do it.
Yeah. I mean, we've played sick. I mean, it's just kind of like, it's go. You know what I mean? It's go time when we go. So it's very that's kind of just how we are, though.
That's awesome. Well, I know I am one of many who look very forward to what you guys are going to be doing I definitely will be, keeping up on the social media to find out everything that's coming along.
That's pretty much it, though. That's really cool that you had us come on here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks
we
for.
we didn't really expect like a lot of people to ask us to do interviews, and you were our first one, so it's really cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are doing great. I'm sure it's probably nerve-wracking. Well, I don't know. Now that you've done the show, probably not so much, but I know when I first, and maybe it's harder on my side too, because I have to ask the questions versus just answer questions. But my first like few interviews, which has been a few years ago now, oh my gosh, I was like, I'm gonna have a panic attack. I don't know how to do this, but I do so many now that
I've done, and that's kind of why me and Chris do the majority of the interview. If you look online, me do the majority. It's just because we've done them so much, so it's kind of just like I've done a lot of podcasts.
Oh yeah.
Like when you push a single, so you do a lot of press. So like I kind of know how it goes and stuff like that. But there was a lot of the show that they didn't even use. I mean, every time that you saw us,
they overfilmed stuff, so they had more stuff to use and everything.
Yeah,
so.
I mean that Mercy Council. I mean, we were in there for.
Yeah, it was longer. It was like I don't know how much was in the show, maybe like 3 minutes or something. Yeah,
Did they hound you the whole time? Because those guys hounded you guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like, geez.
They were like, I remember I saw Cam. I think her name's Cameron from Bones, the band Bones. She's on the Mercy. She's so nice. She
seems nice. Yeah. They're so good.
Yeah. And I saw her. She was smoking out in the courtyard, and she was like, we were talking. She's like, just go in there and be very clear with what you want and stuff like that. And, just don't take everything to heart, basically. It's a TV show. So it's.
Yeah. And I mean, they were all really nice. So I don't want to make
They all get, yeah.
They did not seem nice on the outside. I was like, man, they are hounding these poor kids. And then they're like, but you get to go. And I was like, okay, thank goodness. Because
it was funny because it was like, it's like they hounded us. And then afterwards we were like all talking. So it's like how much of this is.
Yeah. And they're also, I also, they're also offering advice and stuff like that. And
sure.
I mean, that's how kind of,
yeah.
I mean, but we've had conversations with other managers and labels and stuff like where they are like that though. But it's a very like aggressive but nice kind of.
Yeah, I think they're also trying to help you.
Yeah, help you, and they see, you know what I mean? They see like that we're kids and stuff like that.
And also doing something for the show and everything.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not like that crazy. When we were on stage though, I mean, that they cut a lot out of what people were saying to us.
Oh yeah, because they got to edit it down for time and everything. Probably,
yeah, I mean, but I'm glad they left. The performance they left in the first time was chopped up. So if you watch our performance of Goodbye, right?
Yeah, well, they shortened the song, so maybe it was like it might have been like a minute of the song or something like that.
Yeah, a minute or a minute and a half of the song. So they left basically all of Alone in, right? The whole song.
I don't know if it was the entire thing, but it was a lot of it. If it was cut at all, it was a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, we played an acoustic version of that. If you saw us do the interview out on the bench.
Yes. Sorry, on the show.
So if you see us do the interview, I mean, we did an acoustic version alone on there. They had us do that, and I guess they cut that out. But there was a lot that wasn't used. So maybe bonus footage will come out later.
That'd be awesome.
And maybe like they'll do like a compilation album of the show on Spotify or something. I don't know. There's like a lot of talks about everything. I know that a few of the clips online went viral. So I mean, like a clip of our Mercy Council was online, and that did like 35,000 views because they were grilling us. So they posted that to the Sumerian and No Cover page, and I know that got a lot of traction.
Yeah, you guys handled it really well, and again took the advice really well and did a lot with it.
I just think it's really cool that Ash put the show on and did it for unsigned bands. And I think that the way that he did it, I mean, I've seen him go at people in the comments and stuff like that say shit about the show, and it's just like, dude, you have the biggest rock metal like indie label looking for an unsigned artist and offering all this shit, and you're complaining, like, and
Right.
this is not an American Idol where you cover a song, and this is not
Right.
Got Talent. You know what I mean? Where you're competing against a guy that can juggle.
Yeah, and
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's a genius idea.
all the people on the show really are kind of trying to help you too. They're not like they're not just sort of like filming you and being like, okay, that's it, go on.
Yeah, I mean,
they're kind of just trying to like the producers of the show and everything like that, or sort of like,
yeah,
they're trying to help the bands. They're not trying to like hurt you or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
I mean-
probably is a difference between the other ones, honestly.
you'll
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see. I mean, I'm sure whoever wins the show, which I kind of have an idea of who won the show, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Kind of. I think that you'll see a lot of them on Sumerian, or you know what I mean. Like I don't think that it's just a win the contest. You get one album out and then you're done. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think that's how it works with Ash, because he's a very like visionary guy and he sees things through. So, yeah, I think the competition is great. I don't see why people hate on it. Really.
Oh no, I think it's great too. It's a good business model as well on their end, but it's also great for new and old bands that just haven't been able to have the coverage. I mean, that's like I said, I don't really watch competition shows, and I have been eagerly awaiting episodes every week of this because it's more real and genuine than what you see in other things.
Yeah, I mean, nothing was manipulated at all. I mean, nothing is very too much fabricated on the show. They weren't like, oh, say this and do this like this and stuff. It was very more like a real kind of vibe. And, that's what we were thinking when we went out there. We were like, oh, it's going to be like a fabricated kind of thing.
Right, now you two fight, the two brothers fight.
Yeah. Like it's not like a Survivor type of deal, But again, at the end of the day, I mean, that's what people want to see anyway. I mean, it's like people want to see
person.
Yeah, you know what? We're not like that.
Right.
My family's not like that. And I mean, Lizzie Hale was outside talking to my mom, like about makeup and about like clothes and shit. And like Alice Cooper's talking to my dad about watches, and we're talking to Tosin he's talking to Tosin about guitar gear, and it was more of like a friendly kind of vibe, right?
Yeah, I didn't meet one person on the show that was like I don't know, what
uppity or snobby or acted like they were better than.
Yeah, it's not like that at all.
That's good.
Actually funny for LA. It was the most not LA thing. Experience. I mean, we've experienced shit where it's like people are like, "Oh, well, do you know who I am?" and blah blah blah, all this stuff, and it's just like, dude, come on, like.
You're another human. You're a fellow human, but thanks.
But with all these people, I mean, it was great. I think Benji Madden from
Good Charlotte.
Good Charlotte was there. He watched us play, which is really
Yeah.
cool. And that, like, for us, I mean, growing up, we listened to Good Charlotte, so it's like, holy shit, Benji Madden, he's fucking here. This is great. Yeah, it's just really cool.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you guys had such a great experience, and it's good to hear on the outside that it was as genuine of an experience as it looked like on the outside. Again, you guys are very natural on stage. You can tell that that's obviously not something that everybody just around, even outside of the show, just around the board is able to accomplish, because get too much in their head, and you guys are very genuine and able to present what you guys are obviously trying to present. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see what comes forth. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time for me as well.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, for sure.
Pleasure. We liked it. Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Have a great rest of your day, okay?
You guys too. Enjoy your Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.